LangGraph's asynchronous document storage mechanism leverages vector embeddings and similarity search through the AsyncPostgresStore interface, enabling efficient retrieval of semantically related content from a PostgreSQL backend. This implementation combines embedding generation via init embeddings with structured index configuration to support both exact key-based storage and approximate nearest neighbor queries. We'll examine how the store initializes with a connection string, configures a 1536-dimensional embedding space using OpenAI's text embedding model, and establishes field-specific indexing before demonstrating document insertion and similarity-based retrieval operations. The setup process includes database migration handling, while the storage operations showcase both indexed and non-indexed document insertion patterns. From LangChain, embeddings import init embeddings. From LangGraph, store, Postgres import AsyncPostgresStore. Constring equals PostgreSQL //user, pass at localhost 5432/db name. Async with AsyncPostgresStore from constring. Constring. Index equals. Dims 1536. Embed. Init embeddings OpenAI text embedding 3 small. Fields. Text hash specify which fields to embed. Default is the whole serialized value. As store. Await store setup hash run migrations. Done once. Hash store documents. Await store aput docs. Doc1 text. Python tutorial. Await store aput docs. Doc2 text. TypeScript guide. Await store aput docs. Doc3 text. Other guide index equals false hash don't index. Hash search by similarity. Results equals await store asearch docs. Query equals programming guides. Limit equals 2. This code demonstrates how to use AsyncPostgresStore for vector similarity search with embeddings. The pattern combines document storage with semantic search capabilities by leveraging PostgreSQL as a vector database. The store is initialized with a connection string and configured with embedding dimensions, a specific embedding model, OpenAI text embedding 3 small, and fields to index. The workflow follows a clear sequence, first setting up the database schema with setup, then storing documents with optional indexing, and finally performing similarity searches. The aput method stores documents in a hierarchical structure using tuples for paths, while the index parameter controls whether a document should be included in the vector index. This selective indexing allows storing metadata or non-searchable content alongside searchable documents. The trade-off here is between search performance and storage flexibility. By default, only specified fields, text, in this case, are embedded, reducing dimensionality and storage requirements. The similarity search uses vector distance metrics to find relevant documents, which is more semantically meaningful than keyword matching, but requires the initial embedding computation overhead. This approach is ideal for applications needing semantic search over unstructured text, though the 1536-dimensional vectors may impact performance at scale. Let's break it down. From LangChain, embeddings import init embeddings. Imports the init embeddings function from LangChain's embeddings module, which provides functionality for initializing embedding models used in natural language processing tasks. From LangGraph, store, Postgres import AsyncPostgresStore. Imports the AsyncPostgresStore class from LangGraph's PostgreSQL storage module, enabling asynchronous checkpoint storage operations in a PostgreSQL database. Constring equals PostgreSQL //user, pass at localhost 5432/db name. Assigns a PostgreSQL connection string to the variable constring, containing the credentials and location for database access. User, password pass, host localhost on port 5432, targeting database DB name. Async with AsyncPostgresStore from constring. Initiates an asynchronous context manager for creating an AsyncPostgresStore instance using a connection string. The from constring class method is called to instantiate the store, which will be used within the async context block that follows. This line doesn't show the actual connection string parameter being passed, but establishes the pattern for asynchronous PostgreSQL storage operations. Dims 1536 sets the dimensionality of embeddings to 1536, defining the size of the vector space for numerical representations. Embed init embeddings OpenAI text embedding 3 small. Initializes an embedding configuration using OpenAI's text embedding 3 small model and assigns it to a variable named embed. The init embeddings function is called with the model identifier as a string parameter, returning an embedding object that will be used for converting text into vector representations. Fields text hash specify which fields to embed. Default is the whole serialized value. Specifies that only the text field should be embedded when creating vector embeddings, overriding the default behavior of embedding the entire serialized value. This configuration explicitly limits the embedding process to the text content only. Await store setup hash run migrations, done once. Asynchronously calls the setup method on the store object to initialize the database by creating necessary tables and running migrations. This operation is performed once during the initial setup of the store. Hash store documents. Await store aput docs, doc1 text, Python tutorial. Asynchronously stores a document in the store under the key doc1 within the docs namespace, with the content being a dictionary containing the text Python tutorial. The aput method is used to persist this checkpoint data, taking a tuple for the namespace path, the key identifier, and the document payload as parameters. Await store aput docs, doc2 text, TypeScript guide. Asynchronously stores a checkpoint in the store with the key tuple docs and the identifier doc2 containing the data text, TypeScript guide. The aput method is used to persist this checkpoint, where the first argument is the key, the second is the identifier, and the third is the payload being stored. Await store aput docs, doc3 text, other guide index equals false hash don't index. Asynchronously stores a document with key doc3 in the docs collection containing the text other guide while explicitly disabling indexing for this operation. The aput method is used to store the checkpoint with the tuple docs, specifying the collection path, doc3 as the document key, and the dictionary text, other guide as the document content. The index equals false parameter prevents this document from being added to any search index. Hash search by similarity. Results equals await store, asearch docs, query equals programming guides, limit equals 2. Calls the asearch method on the store, object to perform an asynchronous similarity search in the docs collection using the query programming guides, limiting results to 2 items. The method returns the search results which are assigned to the results variable. This implementation demonstrates LangGraph's asynchronous document storage with vector similarity search, combining PostgreSQL persistence with semantic retrieval. The AsyncPostgresStore initializes with a 1536 dimensional embedding space using OpenAI's text embedding model, configured to only index the text field for efficient storage. The workflow follows a clear sequence: database setup via setup, document insertion with optional indexing through aput, and similarity queries using asearch. The selective indexing pattern allows storing both searchable content and non-indexed metadata, balancing search performance with storage flexibility. By embedding only specified fields, the system reduces dimensionality overhead while maintaining semantic search capabilities. A practical trade-off for applications needing meaningful text retrieval without full document vectorization.
The store embeds the query, while the query stores the embedding, both chasing their tails in a vector loop.